One of our favorite guests, one of our favorite people. She's delightful, and we love her. Give it up for Miss Rachel Miner! And I noticed that too up there.
Yes, it's all very.
Yeah, this got up there with a red marker and just scrawled it on the wall.
So the last time you two people saw each other, I don't want to make it awkward, but you two were busily raising money for a great cause by running a marathon. Am I wrong?
I was so impressed with you.
I'm impressed with Rob. I'm impressed with Rob. I'm impressed with the boys who ran. I'm also impressed with you for suckering a bunch of dudes to pushing you for 5 miles. That takes skill.
That was actually really cool. Those first 5 miles of the race, Jason and Charlie and I ran with you. Yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. We were like, and it was still at the point where like we could chat and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
No one was like totally out of breath and ready.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jason and I ran together the whole race. By like mile 21, we couldn't make words. It was,
but I have to say, you and Jason ran very smart.
Yeah.
Like, round of applause to these guys, because they were like, not gonna be fazed by like, trying to push and do stupid things that then later, it was just like, no, we're gonna do this right.
I don't, and I know this about, I wasn't there, I was like you, people supporting from afar, but I know that there's a little bit of a mythology about Rachel that I just want to dispel, and I'm sorry, Rachel, but this is me when I haven't been drinking, the truth just comes out.
Awesome.
I know that when you're pushing Rachel, there's this sort of, she likes to say like, oh, I feel so bad, I didn't want him to push me. I said, stop now, guys. That's not true. You were there literally going, this is as fucking fast as you're gonna go?
Right.
Can we go?
Exactly.
If we're not gonna win, why are we doing it? If we're not gonna win, why are we doing this? Push me, you son of a bitch.
That's right.
Sorry, Rachel.
Yeah.
Truth is out.
I think my usual thing, is that all you got?
Yeah, you kept saying, is that all you got? It was weird you were drinking a martini, too. I thought that was it.
Rob's burned up his highlight sheet.
Rubbing it in.
Ladies and gentlemen, marathon runner, Rachel Miner.
Hello, you. How are you? Hi. Happy final Supernatural Creation Convention of the year. That's that doesn't roll off the tongue. But happy that. I love you guys so much. I love those guys too. Yeah, it's great to see you. Are you having fun? Awesome. Awesome. Yes, I'm just happy to be here. I don't know, are there a few questions for me? I'm ready to be strangely, ridiculously honest, which is my usual state, I guess. So, go for it.
Hi. I've been answering your tweets. I mean, I'm just a face on Twitter, I know. But you have the most beautiful soul. How do you keep that amazing love and passion for life?
You. No, seriously, all of you. I'm not, I do, first of all, the nicest question. Thank you for that. And you are not just a face on Twitter. Thank you for all of your encouragement and your words. But it really is thanks to all of you that I am here, that I am happy, that I am excited about living life. I think I was kind of ready to retreat a bit, and to be told you have some worth and some value, and to have friends, and to have a reason to be is everything. So it's this group, it's all the actors that I worked with, it's the fact that Misha gave me the job with Random Acts, it's getting to see the best of humanity and getting to encourage each other through the dark times and feel like your dark times are not for nothing, because if you can figure your way out, you can help others to figure their way out too. And being able to share that and support each other through all this, that is everything to me. So, thank you. Hello.
Hi. Oh God, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry,
But crying is so much allowed. Like, I am probably going to cry. I feel like I'm in this really raw state too, where it's like I'm not ready to put on a show. I'm like ready to be here with you guys, and my heart is open. So feel free, cry, and like, how lucky are we that we can connect in that way? That's my 2 cents.
So first off, I just really want to tell you that I just love you so much, and I look up to you just every single day, and you're just amazing, Rachel, and an actual little angel that we so desperately need. But anyways, I was just wondering if Meg were to still be around, do you think she'd still be a good, reliable ally for Sam and Dean, like knowing what she's done to them in the past?
Okay, first, how can I not be the best self possible when this is the kind of exchanges that I have on a regular basis? You are amazing, and thank you for that. And you make me feel and want to be my better self all the time and enjoy being that because of the way you encourage me. So thank you, and I love you. And then secondly, Meg. I think she fell in love with Cass. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that changed the whole dynamic of who she was and what was important to her, even if she wouldn't want to admit it, or even if she couldn't understand it. And I don't think she ever did. But I think that is the reason why she would always, if he's around, she will support them. Because I think it's just one of those he's heir situations. Like, I can't live if he's not living, so yeah, I'll take care of him, begrudgingly. So that's my 2 cents. What do you think?
I mean, I loved Meg a lot, especially when you took over, like, control, and I was devastated when Crowley was the one to kill her, because she hated Crowley and just wanted him dead. But
it's true, but I will say, Mark actually said in a panel once that the biggest regret he had, I think maybe it was 1 of 2, I can't remember, was killing Meg, which I love. The biggest mistake Crowley made, and I was like, that's awesome. And I so much love that she saved the guys, and she did so without any kind of dramatic overtures or anything. She just did it because it needed to be done. So yeah, I don't mind that death. I think, you know, I think it's interesting because maybe Crowley and her were the most similar demons around, but yeah, I didn't mind that, and I loved getting to do all those scenes with Mark, so that's, I forgive him.
Thank you so much, Rachel, I love you.
Thank you, love you.
Okay, so if you were to be any character from a book, who would you be and why?
Holy moly. I cannot answer. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you an answer, but I will probably 10 minutes after I get off stage regret it, and I'll think of 100 other answers I should have said in the next couple hours. So, are you a big reader as well?
What?
Are you a big reader as well?
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that said, the character that I think I'm probably most like in a book that I love is Hermione in Harry Potter. I've always had great affinity for her. I don't know, do I want to be myself? But she's the character I first thought of. I think maybe I'd like to be, like, if we stick with that series, I'd like to be more of a Dumbledore. But yeah, I definitely think I'm Hermione. And then I'm trying to think, it doesn't have to be a female character. Could be anything. Do you have any in mind? Because I'm like now scanning through, there's so many books that I love that I don't know what to answer.
I mean, Harry Potter is good, so.
Okay, stick with Harry Potter?
Yeah.
So let's say I am a Hermione, I maybe strive to be a Dumbledore. What about you? Do you have an answer?
Well, for me, I'd probably be Tonks, like Nymphadora. I love her.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Hey.
Okay, so I want to say first off, you're amazing. So my question is, if Meg were still around, what do you think her reaction to Jack would be, considering that he's both Lucifer's son and also like the boy is his son, in a sense?
Well, first of all, you're amazing. And secondly, I don't know. I think because Cass is so protective of Jack, I think she'd be protective of him as well. I also just, it's a hard thing to answer, because what happens, especially if you're not, like I'm not on the show being Meg currently, so I'm also me watching the show, and I love that character. I think, yeah, all around it's a really great, so I think we all feel that like slightly protectiveness over Jack, I don't know. But I also feel like there actually would be a natural understanding between Meg and Jack that probably would never be spoken, but because he's kind of, because he has both the good and the bad within him, because he lives in that gray very much so, and it's about the decisions he makes, I feel like there's actually a lot of overlap, that there might be some understanding. But again, unspoken and unsentimental, because it's Meg. So she'd probably mostly just give him a hard time.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I would have thought that, yeah, it's basically what you said, that considering that Castiel's protective of him, she'd be protective of him too. So, thank you.
I think she'd also make fun of him a lot.
Yeah.
He's definitely like, you know, food for that, as much as Cass.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey.
So I have a kind of a nerdy actor question for you.
Well, I definitely do nerdy very well. I'll see if I can do the actor part too.
Okay, so one of my professors in college always said that acting is just living someone else's truth. So whenever I act, I always find myself learning truths from my characters. I was wondering what truths Meg has taught you.
That's very good. Meg has taught me, I think one of the truths for me from the get-go was her perspective, because one of the differences between her and, like, say, the average human is she's lived a heck of a lot longer and seen a lot more. So that changes the dynamic of everything. Every moment that might seem significant to someone who lives a shorter lifespan would be very insignificant to her. So I think it's good in the grand scheme, in the context, like in the context of everything. Where does this sit? I think is a really helpful truth by which to evaluate things. I also think that, like me personally, having grown up in this society, especially as a woman, I'm very apologetic, and I worry a lot about everything I say and do and how it might affect people. And Meg is not apologetic and she doesn't worry. And so I think those two truths were really helpful, and I've tried to learn that a little. It's not that, like, obviously I care very much about the effects that I'm creating in the world and making the world better, but I realize I have a better perspective, I think, after playing Meg, that the little things are not as bad as they seem, one, and that also you're probably going to cause people more discomfort and unhappiness if you're anxious and worried that you're making them uncomfortable. So it's harder to be around someone who's always like, I'm sorry, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to, oh my, you know. So I've learned that actually being okay with yourself and not being in a state of anxiety or regret or whatever is you can do more good from that state. So that's my 2 cents. What do you is there anything you learned from Meg?
I think everything that you said, and then also, finding something to fight for.
It's a great question. Hello.
Hi, Rachel.
We met on the elevator.
Yes, we did.
It's good to see you. How's your first convention going? How's your first convention going?
Good so far. Despite being a little nervous and confused.
Well, let me add to that.
So I was going to ask, up until this point, I was a high school dropout. And here in the next few months, I'm going to be graduating from high school, something I never thought would happen. So I want to ask, what kind of advice would you give to someone who is an ex-dropout?
Well, I'm a dropout, by the way. I started working full-time when I was 9, and so and I got married when I was 17. I cared very much about school. I was one of those, like, trying to be straight A and everything, and took all the hard courses and stuff. So I think I had 1 credit left in my final year. But being married, and I was taking care of kids at the time and stuff, and I just ended up stupidly not getting my diploma. I went back and got my GED. But I'm very admiring of you continuing to fight through all of that, because I personally, like, education is my favorite thing. I learn all the time for fun. And I think it's really important. I guess my advice is don't lose sight of the enjoyment of it. It does not matter. I know it feels like it does, but it doesn't matter so much what other people are saying is valid. It doesn't matter as much what grade you're getting on a given test, or it matters that you are still interested in life and learning about life, and it matters what you retain and where that's going to take you. So I guess ignore the little losses that seem so important at the time, whether it's social or actually to do with school and grading and all that, and just keep doing it for yourself and remembering what is important to you, and that this is your education. So that's what I can say.
I plan to major in fine arts and hopefully be a director one day, so going back to school was a big thing for me.
I'm so proud of you. I wish you nothing but happiness.
Thank you. Love you, Rachel.
Love you.
Hey, Rachel.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I saw you outside the elevator.
We did. I just wanted to say that my friend Emily just ran the Seattle Marathon. And one of the things she told me is when she hit about mile 18, you were at a water station. And it's because of her talking to you and you kind of giving her a pep talk that she had like kind of that final like, hey, I'm going to go through, I'm going to finish this.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanted to say thank you because we couldn't be there with her. So it was very nice to know that you guys were looking out for her.
That is amazing to hear. And what a cool thing in life, like you never know, because I wasn't having the conversation thinking that I was being particularly, helpful or that I didn't know what impact that might have, but it's just a good reminder to all of us that you never know how important a given moment or conversation is that we're having with each other. And I know you inspire me and lift me up all the time when I am at that point where I don't want to keep going. So just thank you, and that means the world that I can do that back to you guys. So thank you. Thank you for passing that on. And well done to her. Please tell her congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you, I will.
Hi, my name is Zan, and one of the things I love about Supernatural is their amazing scripts, and I think Meg got some of the absolute best lines on the show.
Thank you, 100%.
So I was wondering if you have a favorite line that Meg said and what your favorite lines for anybody else might be.
First of all, I admire those writers so much. My favorite line, because I am actually a sap, is probably "Go save my unicorn," or "Go save your brother and my unicorn." But she also got so many fun, naughty lines, and I also love that I got to say, "Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?" Because I am a lifelong Star Wars fan. I was semi-scandalized, but also thought it was hilarious when I got to say, "Keep talking dirty to me or making my meat suit all dewy." I'm trying to think with other people's lines, that's hard. I feel like I retain significance more than actual lines. So there's a lot of moments that I've so loved. But I don't remember the lines that summed up those moments. I love Robbie Thompson's writing, which I'm very verbal about, and I loved, one of my favorite episodes was "Don't Call Me Shirley." I loved all the stuff that Rob did and got to say with just the contemplating what it's like to have that kind of responsibility of being God and what it means. But I'm not thinking of offhand of favorite lines. What are some of yours?
I think you pretty much said them, like of Meg's favorite lines, that the delivery is just so perfect. You just nail it every time.
Yeah, I also, from the get-go, I think my first favorite line in that first episode that I did was, "Not so easy without those super special demon powers, huh, Sammy?" It was just so much fun to get to say. I felt very fun and powerful at that moment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Rachel. You made the comment that you find yourself having to apologize for things. You kick so much ass in real life and in Supernatural. Please don't ever apologize for anything that you say or do.
Thank you so much. Well, how about this? I'll agree to that as best as I can if you all agree to the same thing. Just saying.
Absolutely. And I have an unrelated question. Does your unicorn have a name, and what is it?
It's Clarence.
That's awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Awesome. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. My question is, what was your favorite scene to film?
Oh my goodness! I assume you mean on Supernatural.
Yeah.
Being tortured while naked?
Yeah, no, not that one. Not that. I'm trying to think. I mean, I did love that final scene for multiple reasons. I loved in Goodbye Stranger, and they go save your brother and my unicorn. I loved that. Like, I really cannot describe how much I longed to see that as a young girl. I was always upset by the fact that, you know, guy would be sacrificing himself for a woman, and she'd be like, oh no, don't! Or she'd throw a shoe or something like that. Like, I could not, I literally, like, rage anger of just like, how could you let that happen to someone you care about? That's not, like, I would be in there fighting. I don't care if I have the skill. Like, there's the will of the heart, and you don't just let someone you care about, you know, be in peril or whatever. So that moment for me of getting to be the one standing up and saving someone was everything. Like, I truly, truly love that. And I really needed that. So for that reason, I love the unicorn line. I also thought it was really cool that this scene was between Meg and Sam. And you hadn't seen those two characters together a lot, and I love that whole conversation. I thought it was really well written. Yeah, so that and the Pizza Man scene, because that was fun and cool. No, and I love that was a moment where you really saw a turn in Meg as a character, so it's actually super fun. I'm not just saying that because there was a kiss. It was actually a really fun moment for dynamics to change. I thought it was a really cool, like, was aspects of those two characters, Meg and Cass, that you never saw before. So, yeah. What about you?
I think mine was probably when Meg helped Sam and Dean with, like, the Leviathans, just drove the car. I loved that part.
Yes, I did get to drive Baby. I'm pretty darn honored. And crash Baby, nonetheless. Thank you.
Hi, I just wanted to say that my mom brought here for an early birthday present, and because my birthday's next Friday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
How old are you going to be?
I'm going to be turning 11.
Happy birthday. That's wonderful.
Thank you. My question is, if you were still alive in the show right now, who would you bring back that's dead?
If I was still alive, who would I bring back that was dead?
Yeah.
Everybody. No, I mean, I would love to see, I mean, are you all caught up on the latest episode? Okay, I won't say anything. I'd love to know that all our favorite characters are not in peril in any way. So that would be my first priority. A lot of my favorite characters got brought back. Like, I love that Rowena's still around. I love that Charlie is back. Who would you bring back?
You.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'd love the idea that Meg would be alive still somewhere.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy birthday!
Hi, Meg. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. My question was the Pizza Man scene, since I've not been to one of your panels before.
Yes.
Were you
No
surprised?
one ever wants to know about that scene.
Were you surprised? Did he use tongue? How many takes?
Wait, there was a Tumblr where he said that, and wasn't it? Yes. Okay.
You know, that kind of stuff?
I'll go back to, I'm red, aren't I? No, I'll go back honestly, what I remember the most about that scene was that Misha was actually really looking out for me, because I was already sick at that time. But I, because of my stupidity, wasn't saying anything to anyone. I was just saying my back was hurting, but I couldn't do a lot of the motions. And that spin, having to spin around for that kiss was actually, we did a rehearsal and it was super hard. And Misha just added the thing of like picking me up and spinning me around because it was easier. But that was like a really, really cool friendship gesture of just like, I got your back. And so I love that because that moment looks so cool and it's very kind of like sexy or whatever and manly, but it was actually done to just like look out for a friend, which that, like, to me, that is what really stuck with me, is moments like that. So, yeah.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So before Supernatural came out, I was a huge like Buffy and Angel fan, so this fit right in my little niche of monsters and stuff.
Nice.
What was one of your favorite shows?
So many. I'm basically like, if it is in any way nerdy, I probably watched it and was very into it. I'm a super hulak. Like I love the whole. I did watch Buffy. I watched. I never watched Angel. I never got into Angel, but I could have. I'm trying to think. So many. Basically, I love fantasy shows. Like I'll even watch Shannara Chronicles or what is it? Shannara. I don't know. Okay, I got it. But yeah, it's not my favorite show, but like there are fairies and elves and magic and stuff, so I will watch it. Yeah, I literally, basically, as long as it is, like if it's a fantasy show or something, I probably watch it. My mom was a Trekkie when I was growing up, so I've seen most of the older Star Treks. And all the way through to Deep Space Nine, because that was just in my household growing up. So yeah, I'm a big time sci-fi fantasy nerd. So you're saying like Buffy was your jam?
Yeah, Buffy, Smallville, anything fantasy related, my entire family was on it. And then we saw the preview for Supernatural, and my dad and me were like, yes.
I mean, I go in and out of watching TV. That's the only variable for me. I love to read and study. I love watching courses and things like that. Like, you know, I'm full geek. So I'll go off of seeing any television for a while, and then I'll like binge watch a show when someone tells me it's good or something like that. So that's where there's a lot of holes in the type of fantasy or genre shows I might have missed. But I try to catch up at various points. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think there is a debate going on. Is it dirty?
She had to screen my question. Because Meg was a character before you were on the show, like she was played by another actress, when you came on to play Meg, did you research how that actor had played her, or did you kind of just make her your own?
It's a good question. So yeah, Nikki Acox had played her before. She did an amazing job. Luckily, for me, I had not actually seen the show before I did it. Because, as I said, I go in and out of seeing TV, period. I didn't have a TV for long periods of my life. So yeah, I didn't have like a preconceived notion of something I had to live up to, because I think that would have scared me. But Nikki's performance is so good, and I later went back and watched, and I was actually surprised at how much there is continuity in the character. That's probably one of the reasons that they cast me, is just that we had similar take on the character. And then Nikki and I have done conventions together since then. I really like her, and we do kind of have certain similar outlooks, so I hope that answers.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
But I think it's a testament to the good writing that character, to me, just like came through so strongly, regardless. Thank you so much.
Hi, Rachel, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. So your delivery of Meg's lines were so deliciously snarky, but it seems like it's so different than how you are in real life. Was it difficult for you to channel your inner snark?
That's a really good question. No, I think the inner snark lives with me all the time. I think because I do care so much about the effects I create on others, I often tamp down the snark because I'm afraid that people will misinterpret it, which does happen, especially because I'm so sweet. That's always been something that came off in life. People get surprised and think I'm serious when I'm being snarky. So I have to watch that a bit. But to me, it's just like it's a fundamental exercise, is I can often see the snark that's there as well. And it does come out sometimes. Like I do sometimes, like, I think I've kind of trolled Misha occasionally on Twitter, things like that. But yeah, but it's only when I know people will really get where I'm coming from. But I also am not as brilliant as the supernatural writers. So yeah, they wrote that snark so perfectly. It was really fun to get to say. Anyway, thank you for that great question. Are you snarky? Do you have snark in you?
I let my snark flag fly.
Nice. Beautifully said.
Hi. I was wondering, since there's a lot of literal and figurative symbolism on the show with bonds and characters and everything like that, what are some of your personal favorites?
Sorry, so like the significance of kind of the symbol. I'm missing what you want.
Like there are a lot of symbols, not just like the one right back there, but just like with the different characters going together, like Cass and Meg, Sam and Meg, like and the symbolism of Crowley killing Meg in the end, like.
I mean, I think my favorite thing, I don't know, I'm trying to steer me off if I'm answering your question incorrectly. But my favorite kind of universal theme that exists throughout the show is the idea of free will and the idea that none of us are set on a given course. It's always up to our personal choices. There isn't really black and white, good and bad on the show. You could be an angel and be bad. You could be a demon and do good. And it's about the choices you make on a moment-to-moment basis. You can start out bad and change course. And I think that's really important, really true to life. And that's my favorite kind of symbolic theme that you see throughout the show. Is that the type of thing you're asking?
Yeah, you nailed it right on the head. I'm just bad at wording things when I'm nervous.
You're not bad at wording. You're very smart, I can tell from your question. And it's a really beautiful question. I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding it perfectly.
Yeah. My mom was a writing teacher, so I kind of think in that figurative sense, so I try to incorporate that whenever I can. So I thank you for understanding what I was saying.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Hello,
Ian. First off, I think we can all agree that Meg is probably one of the most interesting and badass demons on the show ever. So So in the event that a demon could be brought back, how would you want her big entrance back on the show to go?
I mean, I want to hear options, because I think there are so many within the fandom that are so good. It's not the entrance, but one thing I have been asked in the past is if I could cheat looking like I could walk, and I absolutely would not want that. I think representation is something that's really important from my point of view. And I think being able to see strong characters who also happen to have different strategic, issues going on in life, I think is really important, because most of us do. We're all, fighting through different things. I think it would be really cool to see the character unchanged, even though her physical, her physical trials might be slightly different. So I'd love that. I think Meg would handle it brilliantly. I would love something in the same way that Meg went out. I would love if it was not a big grand entrance. I would love if it was just like, yeah, I've been here working my butt off for all this time and no one noticed. I think that was just like no one acknowledged that she died. I think, like, to me, that is kind of what I imagine, is that somehow Meg is somewhere still looking out for Cass, and still trying to, set things in the right way, and still being her badass self, and whether people are looking at her or not. And so I kind of like that idea. What do you think?
I think that's perfect, honestly.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. You've been working since you were 9, you said, so you've met all sorts of people. Have you fangirled over anybody, actor, writer, whatever?
That's a really good question. I tend to fangirl over more like geeky things. I remember kind of fangirling. Do you know who Peter Weller is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was directing an episode of Sons of Anarchy that I was doing. And I remember kind of geeking out over the fact that he'd done History Channel specials that I watched. I don't know, it was like, was it Engineering and Empire? No, I think it was something different. But anyway, he'd done this, he had gone back to school to get his doctorate in history. And then he was working with the History Channel and doing these amazing, fun documentaries at that time. And I remember being really impressed with that. So that was one of the few times. I don't generally fangirl over actors, but I will for sure fangirl over, also, I am a charity nerd. So when I know someone is part of, like, I'm a big fan of the Skull World Forum, which is started, it's, do you know Participant Media and some of the films they do? They always do like films that want to do good in the world. A man named Jeff Skull runs both things, and they have a scholarship fund at Oxford University, and they teach, I'm trying to remember, like philanthropic things, and they give out grants and whatever. Anyway, I nerd out over that kind of thing. So like if I met Jeff Skull, I'd probably nerd out. Like I definitely fangirl over that, but it has to do with these like bizarre offshoots in life that really get me. But I guess it kind of makes sense because I have been acting my whole life. It's not like that, I mean, it's impressive, but it's not that impressive when someone's an actor. I tend to be in awe of certain performances and so forth, but the fact of someone being an actor is not going to do it for me. The fact of someone doing like huge amounts of good in the world, or, deciding to go back to school to, study or something like that, that is something really admirable to me. What about you? Who have you fangirled over most?
I think the only time I did was Professor Brian Cox.
Awesome. I would totally fangirl over him. That's brilliant. I follow him on Twitter. Awesome. Nice.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I just wanted to say you're amazing and inspiring, and I love you very much.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, you said that you watched Doctor Who. I wanted to know what your favorite Doctor was.
That's a really tricky question. And I feel like that's going to get very political very quickly. Here's what I'll say. Every Doctor was my favorite Doctor at that time. And I was always really sad when they were gone and didn't feel like I'd accept the next Doctor. I really love Stephen Moffat's writing. So there was like a sweet spot with Matt Smith, and he was 11, right? Yeah. So it was like there was a sweet spot with Stephen Moffat's writing and 11 that I really enjoyed. I also come at it from a perspective of I'm always looking at the messages that are being put out there, and I think with Doctor Who especially, I'm thinking about the fact that a lot of kids are watching this, and what is it teaching them about the world? And so I felt like there were certain episodes and certain moments that were so beautiful. I remember there's an episode that starts out with a floating leaf
Clara.
Clara, yeah.
How Clara's parents met.
Yes, yeah. I love this group so much. I love that I can say floating leaf and you're like, yeah, that was Clara. Episodes like that I think are really, really special and meant a lot to me. So yeah, so I kind of answered your question.
Oh, that's way better than what Rob and I do. We just flat out don't answer. I mean,
nice.
There are things we just simply won't do, like answer questions. Rachel, do we know yet? Is this something you can reveal? Like how much money was raised by the?
We don't know the exact number yet, but we know this. There was you guys donated more than I guess it was like it's up to 116,000 on the crowd rise, just the Bad Idea tour alone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Then E4K, I'm going to give you a lot of numbers. E4K and all of you working so hard and all of the Random Act staff raised over 10, I think it's like 13 or something in there. And then Amika donated another 26, and then the Bad Idea tour participants donated another 100,000. So basically, you all rocked it.
That's super impressive. Thank you for spearheading that. That was so great. Thank you for putting your energy behind such a worthy cause. That's awesome.
Thank you for your support. You are amazing.
You're from afar.
Thank you, Rich.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Miner!